Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done, published to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. I'm doing a series of spotlights on remarkable business intermediaries from across the country, and joining me on this segment is Michael Schwantes. He's the president of Creative Business Services, CBS Global. Michael, welcome to the program.
Mark, it's nice to be with you. Thank you.
Michael, tell us a little bit about your work and tell us specifically who are the types of clients that you really specialize in helping and working with.
Based here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, our practice is mostly in Wisconsin. We do get outside that Wisconsin market from time to time because we have some areas of specialty in the M&A area in addition to our Main Street practice. We are the number one M&A broker in the dairy industry. We sell a lot of cheese companies and dairy companies. Being from Wisconsin and knowing the marketplace, that would be something that is attractive to a lot of our sellers that are starting to age out. Many of these people started businesses when they were young. I always say they had one hammer, now they got 10, and they're looking at retiring and on a very confidential basis. And that's when they bring us in to prepare them for sale and package them up and then take them to a strategic audience of buyers just for that industry.
So speaking of the entrepreneurs starting with one hammer, I know that entrepreneurs, what I love about them is they're so great at, they start with a passion for what it is that they do, and then eventually they learn the business side of it. But now when it comes to selling a business, is this often an afterthought? How many of the folks that, do they really know where to start when it comes to selling a business?
Well, they don't, and many times it's that the old saying is lonely at the top. They really don't know where to go. I always say their attorney, they think charges them too much. They're counting those numbers. Their best friend has their own problems with his business, and their wife doesn't care. And so really, when it comes to exiting, they need help. And so that's where we come in. Sometimes it can be a year to 3-4 years before they're ready to really sell, but they want to be packaged properly, which means there's the component of real estate needs appraisals, machinery, equipment needs appraisals, the valuation of the business itself, which we do. So there's many segments that have to come together at one time to make the business marketable. But the one thing that we are always in tune with is the passion of that seller. And you brought it up. Passion is everything. And if that seller has lost his passion prior to being taken to market, that can be disastrous, pricing wise for sure, because a smart buyer knows when a seller has lost his passion. So we try to get to that seller before they've lost passion. They're still excited about that business, and the buyer sees it, and that's the most exciting time for us.
So when it comes time to sell, selling a business is not as simple as selling a home. And one of the inspirations for this series is the lack of information. And a lot of business owners don't even realize the benefits of a business intermediary or that the service even exists. Can you kind of give us a 10,000-foot view of the role of a business intermediary or broker in helping a business and how you can help them successfully sell their business?
Well, you hit it on the head because most people start their business or they inherit it, and they're now wanting to look at some other options. Maybe they want to do something else with their lives. Maybe there's been a death in the family. Oftentimes, we're working for a seller that has had a challenge and something personal in their life. That's really not the time to prepare your business for sale. The time to prepare your business for sale is when you're at the top of your game, you're doing well, the industry is doing well, your employees are sound, you've spent some time with your key employees, notching them up so that for really a buyer is going to look at those employees as much as they're going to look at the product line, the service line, because they're paying for goodwill, they're paying for those employees. And right now, employment is a challenge for some companies. And so the smart seller not only prepares his business for sale, but prepares his employees for sale, not necessarily by telling them, but making sure that they're in the right place and the right position, and they're paying well, so that frankly, when the business is sold, they don't exit, because the buyer is buying employees too, and especially now. And so that buyer is going to be really keen onto the situation with the employment and how long they've been there, and making sure they're paid well and that kind of thing.
So we're coming out of a pandemic now, and I know that's triggered a lot of folks to say, hey, I think it's about time to sell finally. But at the same time, they're wondering, is this a good time to sell? What's the, temperature of the economy been like in your area, and what's the opportunity like in selling a business today?
We had a record year yesterday or last year, and yesterday I was going through the numbers for what's happening already this year, and we'll exceed last year in what we do because there are so many strategic buyers looking to acquire. Private equity is big; they're out there. Family-run companies, family offices, we call them, are looking. Our biggest challenge right now is finding strategic buyers and pricing the business fairly. We have a lot more buyers than we have sellers because there's still roll-ups going on, and we do a lot in the medical staffing industry nationwide, as an example. And there are many strategic buyers rolling up medical staffing companies. So there are certain targets that they're looking for. There may be less targets in certain markets. We have a company called Quick Trip. They have 800 stores in the Midwest. Right now, it's a little bit more challenging to sell a convenience store than it was 10 years ago. So I think every situation has some uniqueness to it, frankly. But at the same time, there really are much more activity on the buy side than on the sell side. People are starting to age out, though, and we're starting to see more people thinking about selling than before. IBBA, our fraternal organization, thought really there'd be a lot more sellers 3 years ago than there really was. And frankly, a lot of business owners are making a lot of money right now, and they want to stick in for another couple of years. But don't stick in too long because you might lose a window of opportunity, especially with interest rates going up and the economy starting to slow down.
Michael, take us back a little bit into like what inspired you to get into this field. Uh, how did you get started helping business owners?
Actually, in 1980, I started the company, which is 42 years ago, a long time ago. But I had owned my own restaurants, and I was raised in a place called Door County, which is very well known to a lot of people in Chicago and Milwaukee. And so I had 5 restaurants by the time I was 27, and I sold them myself. And one of my best friends had started a company called Jellystone Campgrounds, and it was started in Door County. And he said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I just got accepted at law school in Michigan." And he said, "You don't want to be an attorney." He said, "You just sold all your businesses yourself. Why don't you be a business broker?" There weren't many business brokers back then. I think there was one, maybe a few in Wisconsin. And but we're in the Door County area. There's many businesses that get transferred, and so we were the top business broker in Door County for about many years. We still are, but we moved the office to Green Bay about 25 years ago, and now we have these niches in manufacturing, distribution. I personally do a lot of transportation companies yet, and so there's not many of us here in Wisconsin. A couple of them are out there, actually got trained here and started their own company, and they're doing well. And it's not for everyone, but it's satisfying because you're bringing 2 people together, and you're helping one exit and helping their family move on, and so they can do other things in their life. And it's a very rewarding profession, very rewarding.
Michael, before I ask you my last question, is there anything that I didn't think to ask you that you feel is important to share with business owners that are considering selling their business in today's economy?
I can only give guidance, Mark, and say, don't wait till the last minute. Whatever company you hire, there's good companies out there throughout the country. Do some research, interview your business broker, interview more than one. It's a personality. Do you feel comfortable with the personality of that sales executive, that business broker, and that company? Every company's got a personality to it. So prepare your business for sale, and get out and look at different business brokers, interview the best, and make a decision. But don't wait too long. And we see it too much, and the passion goes away, and the value starts to go away. Sell at the top of your game. That's what I would recommend, Mark.
For business owners that resonate with your message and would like to speak with you or could use your help, how can they find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Well, thank you. We're here in Green Bay, where again we have other offices in Oshkosh and in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. But here in Green Bay, they can reach us at CBS Global Creative Business Services at 920-432-1166. Please ask for me, and I'll connect you with one of my qualified agents, or I'd love to talk to you myself. But it's make the decision to do something now rather than wait and too late.
Michael, this has been terrific. I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. And I thank you for having me on. Take care. Good luck.
That was Michael Schwantes, president of Creative Business Services, CBS Global. And this segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.